Hey guys, what the fuck's up? You're listening to Inky Squid on his Inky Squid channel. You don't have to call me Inky Squid, just call me a like most people do.
Who's there? What's going on? Something out there? Who are you?
Do not be afraid.
What do you want from me?
We have a message to give you from our planet. A message of peace and a six-pack of Kardashian space worms. In exchange, we would like a box set of Nirvana CDs.
Why me? Why me?
It's play! It's play! It's play! It's play! It's play! It's play! It's play!
I think I was about 12 when I first watched that video clip from Clarissa Explains It All on Nickelodeon. You probably remember her from Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. And that was my first exposure, really, to aliens and alien abductions. A little bit later on I watched Alien though. Alien, the movie. At the ripe old age of about 13. Kind of reminds me of the time I watched Blair Witch thinking it was real, when I was about that age as well. And that shit me up. I don't think it's done me too much damage. Today we're going to be talking about alien abduction, of all things, and determine once and for all, A, if aliens are real, B, do they abduct people, C, do they put an anal probe up their arse. So we'll start with this first video, and it's a must-see apparently. CCTV alien abduction dash must-see. And I think it's got like Commander Riker in it from fucking Star Trek or some shit. I think he's the voiceover artist. Obviously he's been paid a substantial amount of money to talk about this shit. So we're going to give it a go.
Here's the tape. There are 4 black and white pictures. In the top right quadrant, a worker walks right to left through a gate. He disappears here in a flash of light at 11:16 p.m.
11:16 p.m. That's around about the time when I'm either at work or on the weekend I'm drunk. So what better way to combine these two forces, he thinks, by doing both at the same time. Just putting it out there.
The tape continued to run normally until almost 2 hours later. Then the victim reappears in a second flash of light, now in a fetal position. Then moments later, now crouching, he vomits.
So some good looking vomit there. Kudos to him for that. Conveniently placed right in front of the camera, so you can definitely be sure he's vomiting. Obviously he's been away for 2 hours, so he could have gone anywhere, but no, he decided to be there. Don't know what that says.
And seconds later, staggers right to left, out of frame.
The employer probably cashed up at the end, or in the morning, realised he's $100 down, checked the CCTV footage and saw this guy puking on the floor, and he thought, Frank, what the fuck's all this shit about, eh? You've been drinking? Oh no, I wasn't drinking on the job. No, you're getting this all wrong. No, I was abducted by aliens. They shoved a barbed wire rod up my arse. Seems more plausible to me than getting an anal probe shoved up your ass. Though more entertaining it is. Just I don't believe it. So let's continue.
He reports that soon after the incident, the victim abruptly quit his job and moved away.
Oh, a lot with these people, you know, they can't hold down a job. You know, they're drinking on the job, clearly, you know. Obviously things were getting the better of him, so he thought, ah, fuck it. I'm moving to Alaska to continue my alcohol abuse. But not for too much longer, I'd imagine, if he hasn't got a job. So, you know, it's the alcohol thing, you know, doesn't think it all the way through.
We provided it to some experts for their analysis. Is this tape the first photographic evidence of the abduction phenomenon?
It does remind me of a bit of CCTV footage from my local town on a Saturday night, to be fair. About 3 o'clock, straight out of a club. You know what I'm talking about.
The individual who submitted this simply took advantage of some electrical disturbances or disturbances that we have yet to discover.
Yeah, he probably went outside for some fresh air, like I said, and he saw a fuse box out there at the back of the petrol station, thinking it was a fridge, and opened that shit up and just ripped out a fuse like it was a Carlsberg or something. And he got electrocuted. I mean, it doesn't take a genius. That's why the CCTV footage went out, and that's why he's probably passed out for a couple of hours. Doesn't remember, you know. Seems perfectly plausible to me.
This is what we've been waiting for, something that we could get our hands on and say, well, look, we got the time here. There's a flashlight, the power surge, look at this whole thing. It's everything went out, you know. And then the guy comes back, it's 2 hours later. Hey, he had 2 hours of missing time. That's not unusual. We have cases upon cases like this.
Missing time. It's called being drunk, isn't it? Missing time. God knows, I've had that experience. I'm sure you've had that experience where you've drank a little bit too much and you've passed out for a couple of hours. You know, and what are you going to come home and say to the missus? You know, oh, I got a little bit drunk, you know, and when she's angry at you, or are you going to say, oh, I got abducted by aliens? If you're mental, you'll say aliens, wouldn't you?
And then here we have it on tape, you know. Then if we could interview the guy, if I could do some hypnosis, some therapy with him, and see what happened in those 2 hours of missing time, and we can really put a fantastic case together.
And who is this chick anyway? I mean, no name came up, I don't think. Could just be any old random just being paid, you know, to say this shit. We don't know. This is bullshit. Can you imagine that hypnosis? Oh, fucking hell, that would be amazing. You'd just be like, oh, just another, you want a beer? You want a beer? Dude, I'll smash a beer. Shit. Shot of Jaeger. Shot of, oh yeah, Sambuca? Nah, I don't like Sambuca. I don't like that Hennessy shit. Beer? Rum and Coke? You want a rum and Coke? Beer bong, motherfucker! Rum and Coke? Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's do some fucking Jaeger bomb. Hey girl, well, how's it going? Oh, chug. You know, I'm trying to continue like that.
I work with many people that they suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. Something happened to them, externally happened to them, that they don't maybe quite remember, but they know they became ill. They know that, you know, they came back and it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and what happened? I just opened the gate and it was 11:15, and then next thing I remember, it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm sick to my stomach.
No, I'm no doctor. I know what you're saying. Matt, come on, please don't put yourself down. But, you know, I think PTSD is safe for war veterans and things like that. I think what she's referring to is hangover anxiety, which granted, it does last for months. Especially the way I drink.
What happens during the missing time? Abductees claim they've been rendered immobile, transported to a craft, confronted by alien creatures, and taken to an operating room where the real terror begins.
So, they were rendered immobile. Okay, that's being called drunk. That's, you know, you lose your motor functions when you're drunk. Okay, you know, it's no secret. Okay, I didn't let the cat out of the bag on that one. Second one, got in a strange craft. It's called a taxi. Okay, it's probably like a fucking Skoda or something. I mean, no one buys those things. Confronted by a strange creature. It's called a taxi driver. Okay, have you ever met a taxi driver? Yeah, and then being confronted. Okay, so that's either A, the missus when they get home to the door and then they go, where the fuck are you? Or B, it's the pumping charcoal through your system at the A&E. Every night out ends in an alien abduction, as far as I know.
Sperm is taken, ovum is taken. I mean, there's a variety of experiments or examinations that take place during the course of an abduction.
They like to say the sperm, don't they? Have you ever noticed this in alien abductions? They like the sperm. Sperm's important to them. We're so advanced we can't reproduce anymore. We need fresh genetics to continue ourselves. Blah blah blah. You know, you've heard all that stories before. Maybe you haven't. I'm telling you now. Possibly they spunked themselves. Sorry, they extracted my sperm. Can't have sex with you, wifey, my love, my life. They wanted my genetics because I was such a superior being that they want my seed. I mean, the audacity of these people.
Unless more information surfaces, no one can know if this was a real abduction.
Yep, that's it then. Wasted my time. Don't know. And that's the point, I suppose, of a lot of these videos. You don't know. So all this shit is bollocks, isn't it? Doesn't stop me from having a look at another one though. So let's jump straight to the next video.
Oh shit. Pretty sure I just saw it out there. Oh, fuck.
I can sense this dude's acting already. I'm just putting it out there. Best footage of Alien, close and clear.
Oh, whoa. Standing right there.
Shit, looks pretty strange, man. Looks pretty weird. What is it? It says it's HD, clean and clear. Let's have a look.
Holy crap.
Holy fuck indeed. I mean, he's looking straight at you. Is he gonna come and attack? What's he gonna do next?
What do you want?
Oh, it's just some head and shoulders on a stick being held up by someone. Oh, okay. Sorry to keep you guys going now. That's fucking ridiculous. Right, next.
A fellow named John Mooner in the UK claims to have been assaulted by an extraterrestrial and says he has visual proof of the incident. But not only was he assaulted, Mr. Mooner says the aggressive aliens abducted him as well.
Okay, Mr. Mooner. He's an eccentric, apparently. Around town, a bit of a ufologist, self-proclaimed expert in the field. And for some reason, he just keeps finding these aliens where no one else does. Fucking fly. Do a Mr. Miyagi on that shit in a minute. This guy claims that he's found an alien, abducted him, and he's got proof because it's on Google Maps.
He decided to use Google satellite maps in an effort to observe the area in which he believes the abduction took place. Mr. Mooner indeed found some events that were unusual, including what he purports is the actual abduction. In a satellite image, he claims to discern himself fighting off a gray alien by throwing a punch at its face. The image is blurry, but shapes in the picture can be made out, although it could be a subjective call as to what one sees there.
100% solid proof. Right, that's it then. We're done. We can fucking just go. Done. Oh shit. Okay, I'll sit back down.
Nonetheless, Mr. Mooner claims that other pictures show what appear to be oddly formed bright shapes hovering over an unidentified neighborhood. The shape with a green glow is said to be an alien craft waiting to beam Mr. Mooner aboard. While he does have his doubters, Mr. Mooner sticks by his story. Do you believe him?
They look like conservatories with sun glare on them. I don't know. To me, that's what it looks like. I mean, you know, you can't tell anything with that pixelation, can you? And it looks like he's just punching some kid out. So, you know, he should be convicted, if anything. That told me very little, to be honest. And it just makes me angry. It makes me angry at aliens that they're not trying hard enough. Okay, got everything back to normal again. So, we've got a guy that's been abducted, and so now let's take a female interpretation of it. Let's not be biased here at Inky Squid Media. And this lady claims she got abducted, and she's going to give you a great rundown of how she was abducted and why.
As an abductee myself for all my life. I had no memory of it till I had a crisis abduction in '94.
Okay, so crises usually spawns this sort of madness.
And this crisis abduction took me down a timeline, and I'm seeing a small child going into a field, and the camera pans in, and it's me.
She's a director? Motherfucker? What was she saying? The camera pans in. What, in her brain? My brain doesn't work like that.
She's looking at a white disc about 50 feet across on the ground, got no idea what it is. Then suddenly a creature appears. It reminded me of a tortoise.
It was a fucking tortoise then, wasn't it? That stretch of turtle.
This thing is very strong, and it's scaly skinned, and it drags me right across underneath the disc into this tube.
Okay, tortoises don't have discs, and they can't drag anything. They don't have the dexterity in their paws, hands, arms, paws, claws. I don't know what the fuck they got, but they can't drag no one anywhere.
And next thing you know, you're in a round chamber. Then they start ripping my clothes off. They take this instrument and they start digging.
Oh yeah, now it's getting juicy. Okay, so this is a sex thing. This is a sex fantasy.
I don't know how many times I've been abducted. There's been so many I can't count.
Okay, that's the first time I saw her. Don't mean to be rude, but...
When was the last time you were abducted?
Well, all of a sudden I heard...
Fucking alien, eh?
I could see a column of light, and inside that were three of the little grey aliens, 3'6".
May I just ask how tall you are? Exactly 3'6", is it? Right, okay, I'll make sure I'll jot that down on a piece of paper before I go back.
Their time is not like our time. They can stretch time because they're interdimensional, and that's how they take us interdimensionally. Your home is not your castle.
Again, did you stop to ask them? They stretch time and they're interdimensional. I mean, where is she getting this from? I really don't understand. She got abducted, fine, okay, she believes she got abducted, that's it, but you stop and ask him, motherfucker? Well, you're being tied down in a compromising way? I mean, get real. It's like she's got an agenda, is what she has. I mean, she's going to talk about the fucking environment next and how we're destroying it or some shit.
They set a portal up, you see. They can come through the wall, they can do whatever they bloody well want. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Alright, boy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, baby.
What they want from a young female, as soon as she's able to produce eggs, that's what they want. And that's why they take you. They've been doing a breeding thing for many, many, many years.
Okay, so we got the sperm, and this lady gets the eggs taken out of her. Okay, so I told you there's a theme. There's a theme. One's drunk, one's horny, or you know, definitely damaged in some way.
They extract through the navel because they have to put this thing through there, whip that egg out, and so on.
Why don't you go through the vagina? Seems like the most plausible way to get eggs. Why'd you rupture the belly button and shit to get to the eggs?
America's one of the most evil countries there is, you know, and they think themselves so godly, man. We're so godly. You're not. We've heard when Donald Trump takes over, the aliens are going to come. There's things that are happening, They're going to deforest huge swathes of land, all for the sake of business people, you know. They've all said, yeah, we want the spoils, we want this, we want that. And they will kill the world to get it. And I think something has to cut it and say, no, no more.
Okay, so she has got an agenda. She hates Western society, I suppose. What the fuck happened to you, girl? Hey, what the fuck happened? The conversation was all over the shop there. I mean, was it suppressed memories from sexual abuse? Or was it an environmental thing? You know, trying to get her voice heard through something dramatic as an alien abduction. So I'm not getting heard. I need a story, and aliens, I guess, was her go-to, I suppose. Still not convinced. I don't think I'll ever be convinced.
People are physically missing from their normal environments when they are abducted. People come back with unusual scars on their body, fully formed scars that weren't there before. Now let us suppose it is not happening. All those things still remain, and yet it's not happening. There is no such thing as the abduction phenomenon. If that is the case, we have found the most important thing ever in the history of neurology, brain function, cognition. This is, all these people are saying the same thing at their risk. This is not going to bring applause to them that they say they've been abducted by aliens from outer space. High-functioning people say this to me knowing full well it could destroy their careers, and they say this around the world, and it's not happening. Then what?
Hey guys, thanks for watching. I do appreciate you sticking around to the end. If you like what you've seen, just hit a like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me, and I'll keep continuing to make funny videos for you guys about various topics. Until next time.